AMR back in with another video. So in today's episode, I'm going to be covering all of the injury reports here for week 4 of the NFL season. As always, if you like today's content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, helps out a ton. But let's go ahead and jump in here. I'm just going to go alphabetically by teams. I know that's not super helpful based on like matchups and stuff, but the list that I'm currently that I threw together has everyone that I need alphabetically. So Cordell Patterson, he's the running back for the Atlanta Falcons. He's listed as questionable. I don't really think that this is going to be a huge question mark, though. It says like he has rest happening. So if I had to imagine Cordell Patterson's going to be very okay in this game, I don't think that he's going to have anything to deal with here. Stephon Diggs is going to play. Gabriel Davis is questionable with an ankle. I think that he actually does get out on the field, but I think that he's going to be very limited, exactly the same way that he was last week. I would stray away from him, if I'm being quite honest with you. Dawson Knox, questionable. I don't know if he's actually going to be able to play in this game. If he is, he's probably just going to be utilized as a pass blocker. He's had a very, very slow start to the 2022 season, and I really don't see this as a get-right game for him. Ed Oliver, the D tackle for the Buffalo Bills, he's questionable with an ankle. He's going to play. I really don't think that there's too much. I mean, it's a huge concern if he misses, because Baltimore is a very run-heavy team, and Buffalo plays Baltimore this week, and I mean, if Ed Oliver is out in this game, it's already kind of a depleted defense right now. So I would say Lamar Jackson is a smash start. Jordan Poyer, he's questionable with a foot injury. I think that he does play. I don't know what kind of Jordan Poyer you're going to get, though. And then switching over to the Carolina Panthers, you have, big note here, Christian McCaffrey. He is questionable with a thigh injury. I mean, even if he does play, it sounded pretty serious. I think that he actually did miss a couple practices this week. I wouldn't be banking on Christian McCaffrey to have a big week regardless. Laviska Shenault, hamstring, questionable. I think that he plays. I would have to imagine that was just precautionary. I don't feel like he is going to miss the week at all. Going over to Chicago, you have David Montgomery's been ruled out with an ankle injury. That was... I mean, we kind of knew that. He was ruled out very early on in the week, so Khalil Herbert is going to be awesome this week for Chicago. Jalen Johnson's out with a quad injury. That's going to be a big blow to the Chicago Bears defense. Roquan Smith, he's going to be able to play. He had like a little bit of an injury concern with his quad, but seems like he was full participant in practice, so I wouldn't worry about there. Robert Quinn, D lineman for the Chicago Bears, he's questionable with an illness. I think that he plays. He was a full participant in practice on Friday, so I don't really have any concern there. Skipping over Cincinnati because we are now into the Sunday games, and Cincinnati played on Thursday night. Cleveland. So Jadeveon Clowney is questionable with an ankle injury. He did not practice. I do not think that he plays in this game. And on the other side of the D-line, you have Myles Garrett, who's also out. Myles Garrett got in a car accident early on last week. So it's going to be a slow recovery for him. As far as I know, he's got stitches and lacerations and stuff, but nothing that's going to be life-threatening or going to like render him to miss more than just this week. I would imagine he's probably back into the mix next week. Amari Cooper, he's going to play. He was full participant in practice on Friday. He was just getting some rest. And Njoku, he's going to play. I wouldn't have any qualms about that. Over on Indianapolis, you have Stephon Gilmore. He's going to play. He had a hamstring concern, but he practiced in full on Friday, so I don't think that he misses. Shaquille Leonard, questionable with the back. I think that he does play. He was full participant in practice on Friday. Really no reason that he won't be out there. And then Jonathan Taylor, he was a little bit rested in the beginning of the week because of a toe injury. I think it's like a turf toe. Full participant Friday. I really don't think that he has any type of a problem. Deforest Buckner, he's really questionable with an elbow injury. We don't know if he's going to miss this game. If I had to put my money on it, I don't think he's out there. He's dealing with some type of an elbow injury. I think he dislocated it early on in the season. So I don't know too much about his injury recovery, but Indianapolis's defense just does not look the same without him. They're doing just fine on the season, but with him out there, he's just like such a difference maker. Arizona, I really don't know. So it's alphabetical based off of the mascot. So now we're at the Cardinals. Aj Green, he is out with a knee injury. I think that was not really all that big of a surprise. Rondale Moore is the bigger one here. He's questionable with a hamstring, limited in practice all week. I think that he's not going to play this game, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Marquis Brown with his seven targets on the week last week and 14 receptions. He got some much needed rest during the week, and he's listed as questionable, but he'll be out there. Really nothing to worry about on that front. Obviously, Dak Prescott's going to be missing another game here for the Cowboys. Michael Gallup is going to play. He was officially ruled as in on Friday. DeMarcus Lawrence, he'll be in as well. Dalton Schultz is listed as questionable with a knee. I would have to imagine he's going to miss this week yet again. He's dealing with like an injured PCL, so I have reason to believe that that's one of those injuries that you want to, don't risk it all in this week's matchup. I forget who Dallas is playing. But I think it's actually Washington. So it's a divisional game, but that's a game that you can win even without Dalton Schultz out there. I think that they need to give him another week's rest. Going over to the Denver Broncos, you got Melvin Gordon. He's obviously going to be playing. Dalton Reisner, he is the guard. He's questionable with an ankle injury, but he played a full participant in practice on Friday. I think that he'll be out there. Really no problems there. Jerry Jeudy, I'm not seeing him on this list, so I'm willing to bet that he got removed from the injury report and that he'll be out there and being just fine. Looking for Hamler as well, and I don't see him either. So I think that the receiving core is probably full health right now for the Denver Broncos. I think that hurts the overall projection of Courtland Sutton's ceiling. But his floor remains the same. He's a very solid start for fantasy. Over on the Detroit side, just so many people out. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown out, DeAndre Swift out, both with ankle injuries. I don't think that ankle's correct here. I think that this is actually a shoulder injury for DeAndre Swift. Didn't practice all week. It was pretty obvious that he was not going to be out there. DJ Chark and Josh Reynolds, probably the biggest two benefactors of Amon-Ra St. Brown missing this game, are both listed as questionable with ankle injuries, limited in practice all week. I think that they're both out there, and I think that they're both very good spot starts. Frank Ragnow, he's going to be out there as well. TJ Hawkinson, he'll be out there as well. Over on Green Bay, you have Jair Alexander, cornerback. He's questionable with a groin injury. He's limited in practice. I think that he plays. This is a pretty big game for them. I think that he needs to be out there against a team that's kind of recovering on their own right now. I'm talking about the New England Patriots. Mac Jones seems like he's going to play. I'm not doing that as my update right here, but he's been trending in the direction of playing in this game, and this is a game that Green Bay really needs to win. David Bakhtiari, limited in practice with a knee injury. I think that he's out there. There's really no reason to believe he won't be. Alan Lazard's going to be a frequent occurrence on the practice injury report, and I think that he plays. He's definitely gotten over whatever injury that happened with his ankle. I think he got stepped on, but no concerns there. Flipping over to Houston, you have Brevin Jordan, who's been ruled out. He's been out for quite some time now. Dameon Pierce, he has like a hip thing going on, but he's full participant in practice. I think that if you have him, you have to play him this week. It's a very good matchup for him against the Los Angeles Chargers, who are without Joey Bosa. So I think that he'll be fantastic for fantasy. Moving over to Jacksonville, you have Shaquille Griffin, questionable with a hip injury. He's limited in practice. I think that he does play, but I don't know if he'll be like on a snap count or something. Zay Jones, questionable with an ankle injury, limited in practice. He's going to be a full participant. He'll be out there. No concern about that. Going over to Kansas City, Harrison Butker's been ruled out yet again this week with a left ankle injury. Sucks to see this happening. Harrison Butker's like one of the best kickers in the entire NFL when healthy, and he's been out for, I think this is his third week now. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, questionable with an abdominal issue going on. He's limited in practice. I think that he plays. There's really no reason that he should miss. This is a big game against Tampa Bay. He needs to be out there for his team. Skipping over Miami, same reason they played on Thursday. Dalvin Cook is going to play in this game, surprisingly, after dislocating his shoulder last week. He's got like some type of a like apparatus, device, whatever you want to call it, that is hooked up on his shoulder and kind of keeps that shoulder in place and prevents it from popping out. The question could be asked, why does he not wear that all the time? I don't know. Maybe it's a hindrance and he doesn't like wearing it. Harrison Smith, he'll be out there. He's been dealing with a concussion, but he passed the protocol, full participant practice on Friday. He'll be out there. Zadarius Smith, questionable with a knee injury, limited in practice. I think that he plays. I think this is just rest, if I'm being quite honest with you. Going over to New Orleans, so you have Marcus May, who is out, the safety for the Saints. He did not practice. That trend's pretty bad. Everyone's traveling to London for this game against the Minnesota Vikings. You got Michael Thomas, wide receiver. He's been ruled out already. Jameis Winston is likely going to miss this game. He's listed as doubtful here with his fractures in his back. Did not practice. I don't think he's going to be out there. I think Andy Dalton's going to get the start. And really that kind of skews my projection of Chris Olave. Chris Olave I love, but I really have qualms about whether or not he's going to have a good week if Andy Dalton's giving him the ball. Alvin Kamara, he's questionable with the rib injuries, limited in practice all week. He's going to play. Same thing with Jarvis Landry, who was questionable with an ankle injury. I have no reason to believe that he won't be out there either. Mac Jones has been ruled out, so he is no longer going to be out there. It's Brian Hoyer is going to get the start for them. And I got to say, if you have Green Bay defense, you better just full stream ahead, man. This is going to be an awesome game for the Green Bay defense. Looking over at some other people on this team, you got Devon Godshaw. He is listed as questionable with a back injury, limited in practice. Jacoby Myers out with a knee, limited in practice, but he inevitably ended up getting the nod to not play in the game. Jalen Mills, cornerback, he's also questionable with a hamstring. I think that he does play in this game. Going over to the Giants. So the Giants have a rather lengthy out list as well. Wanda Robinson and Kadarius Toney and Leonard Williams highlighting that so far. Not looking too good. Wanda Robinson with his knee injuries getting more and more serious from a fantasy owner perspective. I don't know what the actual details are of the injury. It's always kind of been like this thing that's trending in the right direction, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday doesn't practice. So I think he's going to miss some time. Kadarius Toney, he's out with a hamstring. Kadarius Toney is just a walking injury. He gets injured in every aspect of his body. Leonard Williams, he's out with that. Leonard Williams is out with the knee. He also did not practice this week, so I think that it is a little bit more serious than what was originally expected. Going over to the Jets, Quincy Williams is out with an ankle injury. He got kind of fired up on the sideline. Is that right? No, I think I'm thinking of someone else. I want to say it's Quincy Williams, but maybe I'm thinking of Quentin Williams. Anyway, same team. He's out with an ankle injury. And then Zach Wilson's going to get the start here. They announced this at the beginning of the week. Zach Wilson's going to get the nod, and Joe Flacco is going to be demoted down to a backup. I think that was kind of already known. I'd say temper your expectations for the entire receiving core for the Jets, at least in week one. That includes Tyler Conklin. I don't think that the tight end is immune to that type of a quarterback change. So Kevin Byard, he is going to play. He did not practice, but it was because of a personal reason, not because of an injury. Jeffrey Simmons, he is also going to be in. He did not practice. It's again, another personal reason. I don't think that this is anything to worry about. Treylon Burks will be out there. He's been battling an illness, but he's full participant on Friday. Really nothing to be too concerned there. And then Bud Dupree, just veteran rest, I think. He's been dealing with a little bit of a hip injury, but nothing to be concerned about. Kyle Phillips is questionable with a shoulder injury. He was limited in practice. I could see this going either way. I really have no idea as to whether or not he'll be in. If I had to give a toss-up projection, I would say that he's in. But I would go ahead and make sure that you check that on Sunday morning if you're relying on him. Philadelphia, Avonte Maddox is out with an ankle. Philadelphia Eagles defense has been pretty awesome. I don't think that a lot of it rides on the fact that Avonte Maddox is out there. I could be dismissing a bigger role that he has in the team, but it doesn't really seem like the defense is revolved around him. Boston Scott is out with a rib injury. He did not practice. So Kenneth Gainwell owners, go ahead and do whatever you want there. I think that he's going to be operating as the number 2. Miles Sanders is very known to get injured. Right now he's healthy. But on a dime, he could just end up not being out there. AJ Brown, he was full participant on Friday. He'll be out there. And then Darius Slay, he's also out there. So nothing to worry about from a Philadelphia Eagles perspective. Over on the Pittsburgh Steelers, Minka Fitzpatrick has been battling a concussion, but he's full participant on Friday. He'll be out there. He's passed the protocol. Nothing to be concerned about there. Going over to the Vegas Raiders, Foster Moreau and Hunter Renfrow both out. Moreau is out with a knee injury, and Renfrow is out with a concussion that he sustained in week 2 on the final play of the game. I think that Hunter Renfrow could be out there as early as next week, but I would probably say that he's going to miss next week as well. He got kind of lit up. He just took a knee to the back of the head, and that's pretty bad. So give him the time that he needs. And then flipping over to the Rams, you now have Justin. Oh, well, too far. The Rams are all healthy, actually. I think that's kind of why I jumped. But flipping over to the Baltimore Ravens, you have Justin Houston. He's doubtful with a groin. He did not practice. I don't think that he's out there. Ronnie Stanley's questionable. I think that he does not end up playing in this game, which does not bode well for the J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is completely healthy. He's getting worked back in. I think he's going to be completely fine. Marcus Peters will be out there as well. Going over to the Chargers, you have Keenan Allen. So Keenan Allen has been ruled out with a hamstring. I think that this bodes well for the Mike Williams owner and Joshua Palmer owners, both of which are going to be awesome this week. I really want to see Austin Eckler break out, but it just has not happened so far this season. Corey Linsley is questionable with a knee injury. I don't think that he plays in this game. That's the center for the Chargers. And then Donald Parham is questionable with a hamstring. He was full participant on Friday. I don't think that there's any reason that he's going to miss this game. Seattle, you got a bunch of healthy people. I mean, there's really only one person on this list, and it's the free safety, Joey Blunt, questionable with a hamstring, but he practiced in full on Friday. I think everyone on this list is going to play, and I don't know if it's a good idea that you start anyone from Seattle, but to each their own. Maybe like a DK Metcalf. They're playing Detroit. I think there's more optimism on this team than what I think. It's just been kind of ugly thus far. Going over to San Francisco, everyone on this list healthy again. Trent Williams, healthy, did not practice. I think that was just veteran rest. I don't think that he's going to miss this game by any means. Been dealing with an ankle thing. I think that'll be out there. Ross Dwelling, he did not practice. I think that he's out there. I don't have a reason to believe that he won't be, but the return of George Kittle has really kind of brought his value way down. Not that his value was ever all that high. Tampa Bay, you got Russell Gage questionable with a hamstring injury. He did not practice. I think that he does play in this game. I think that he was way too involved last week to miss on a game where he's been questionable. I think that he's just getting some rest. The team really needs him at wideout. Brashad Perryman, he's doubtful with a knee injury. I don't think that he plays. Chris Godwin's questionable with a hamstring, limited in practice. I think Chris Godwin could be out there, but again, temporary expectations. I don't have high hopes for him. Julio Jones, same situation, questionable with a knee injury. I think that he's out there, but again, I don't really want to play him, if I'm being quite honest. And then also Akeem Hicks has been out with a foot injury. I think he missed last week and the week before that as well. Washington, for our final team here to round it out, you got Wes Schweitzer, the guard for the Commanders. He's out with a concussion, did not practice all week. No surprise there. And that is pretty much it. So that is going to do it for today's episode. As always, if you like today's content, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a ton. But I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.